Hello everyone, Minute Plus Meditation, Thursday, March the 10th. Now we're in the book of Esther, this beautiful prayer of Queen Esther as she prepares herself to go to the king and plead for the life of her people. And she's terrified. She experiences the natural fear of the possibility of dying, of being put to death, because to go into the king's presence without permission, without being called or summoned, and if he doesn't extend the golden scepter, meant instant death. So she provides not only a model for us of going to prayer, but of the prayer itself. And we should really pay attention to these beautiful prayers that are recounted for us during the season of Lent from the prophets. And in her case, she's not a prophet, but she's a great holy woman. So the whole thing is beautiful. I won't read the whole thing. I encourage you, I always do, to read the whole reading. I'll just cut to the near the end. Put eloquent speech in my mouth before the lion, meaning the king, and turn his heart to hate the man who is fighting against us, who wanted to have them all wiped out. That's Haman. So that there may be an end of him and those who agree with him. But save us by your hand and help me, who am alone. And this is such a beautiful ending to this section. Who am alone and have no helper but you, O Lord. So she provides, first of all, a model that when we're desperate, when we're under temptation, when we experience fear, go to prayer, go to prayer, go to prayer. Many times we don't. Our default is to give into our own sort of dealing with it ourselves. So this is really super important that we go to prayer. And this is what Esther provides us with, this powerful example. So I only encourage you, not only just don't wait for those moments of crisis, but to go to prayer always. But especially, of course, when you're in real crisis situations, you go to prayer. So that's the first reading from Queen Esther. And then our Lord provides this marvelous example for our teaching for us, when he says, ask and it will be given, search and you will find, knock and the door will be open for you. For everyone who asks receives, and everyone who searches finds. For everyone who knocks, the door will be opened. So this can be confusing because we don't get everything we ask for. But what it really entails is an alignment of our whole life, our whole desire, our will with God's will. That's what's really critical here. Because sometimes the answer to our prayer is no. So God has answered our prayer. Sometimes we can't accept that. Sometimes it's not yet. Sometimes I have something else in store for you that we can't see. The important thing is that we keep praying, because we may realize we were asking for this, but we actually were really needing this. But we still fixate on this, when in fact this is what God has in store for us, which is so much better. So in our daily prayer, first of all, be faithful to prayer. Remember how important it is, to in these difficult moments that we have, to go to prayer, and to recognize, that God does answer our prayers, and it's, without his help in our life, we wouldn't be able to accomplish anything. Just think of the founders of religious orders, like Francis of Assisi. He had nothing, and yet look, the Franciscans just took off because God wanted it. We could go through Dominic and Benedict. Josemaria Escriva literally had nothing in his pockets, nothing, and yet, Opus Dei has grown over these years. So God is not only capable, but desires to answer our prayers. It's just we must keep praying so that we come to a point when we really see what God is wanting for us. This takes faith, and it takes a lot of trust. I'll admit it. It takes trust in my own life, but that's what God calls us to. So keep asking and seeking, and you and I will find. God bless you.